Okay, this is the follow-up video to a video that I did about a month and a half ago on the West African Ebola outbreak. I wasn't very happy when I did that video to begin with because I wasn't seeing a whole lot of activity coming from America, Europe, any of the nations that you would expect it from. And therefore it had gotten out of hand. A month and a half later, I am sorely disappointed with the minimalist reaction it seems that we've gotten out of America, at the very least. I can't fully speak for what is happening in other countries and how much they're covering it, but nobody has come forward to tell me that anybody's covering it any better than we are, or should I say we aren't. I mean, hell, I see more about sports teams in the local papers than I will ever see about West African Ebola. I mean, most people can't even name the countries that are affected by it. Okay. This is not something that's going to go against it, but individual effort is something else. For those who haven't heard, at least 2 Americans have been infected at this point. Both of them were missionary volunteers. One was an American physician by the name of Ken Brantley, working for a group called Samaritan's Purse. Yeah, and it's sad that it's going to have to be going through a private company for there to be an American there. He is now contracted. I believe this guy's like 33 years old. He's married. He's a father of 2. And he's doing this all, from the good of his own heart. And now he's contracted it. There's also a longtime volunteer by the name of Nancy Whiteball. I believe she's like 50 or 60, something like that. She's from North Carolina. She was acting as a hygienist that prepared patients. She's also contracted it. Well, the minimalist part of what we've done is, it's kind of unclear, but I believe this has come from the Center for Disease Control based out of Atlanta, Georgia. But they've come up with an experimental treatment or cure. Well, I don't know if cure is the right word, but treatment at the very least, that they've managed to manufacture all of 1 dose of. So they sent it to Monrovia, which is in Liberia. And at this point, from what I heard, Ken Brantley insisted that it be given to Nancy Whiteball. Now, from the logical standpoint, he's younger, he's got a family, he's more valuable from a skill perspective. But he's still insisting. I respect that. Why are we not seeing him featured? I mean, as I understand it, at least one of the 2 is being brought back to the States, maybe both, to be treated. I understand Brantley doesn't want to. He wants to keep treating it even though he's laid up in bed and so on. And it's the start of a downward spiral. At this point, I know a number of nations, a number of organizations are starting to pull out. The U.S. Peace Corps has called for all its volunteers to come home. It seems to me that if we isolate the region, we're going to slow down its growth, but if we isolate it, we don't send anybody back into health, are we just writing them off, as dead? That's what I'm kind of curious about. It just seems that it's not a good situation when you're writing off functionally 3 countries to death, and in a very painful way. We got to do more. we got all these big ass pharmaceutical firms that are based out of the United States, or they get a bunch of their money from working in the United States. They need to be conscripted. They need to be put to work. Yeah, okay, you can make my erection possibly last for more than 4 hours. Yeah, okay, you can actually make a drug that you're going to actually name Ass Effects. The worst name for a drug I've ever heard. Well, or maybe the best name. I'm not sure at this point. Why can't you focus your efforts towards creating a treatment? I mean, maybe not an outright cure, but at least a treatment for this disease. You would think they'd be working on cancer. You'd think they'd be working on HIV. Well, this is pretty fucking serious too, so why aren't they working on it? Or if they aren't, why are they not working on it effectively? Why is there not being any kind of budget put towards it? Why? Oh, I'm sorry. The people of Africa are poor. They're not going to make a profit off it. Yeah, that's what's wrong with part of this is corporate America. Screw them. Corporate world, actually, because a lot of companies have moved to other nations, and they just basically rape everybody for all the money that they're going to make. And they don't care if you're sick. They don't care if you're dying. What they care about is, you have any money? You have money? We'll cure you, as long as we know we're going to keep getting money from you. Even then, I don't know if I trust them. Are you going to give me a cure, or are you going to give me something that's going to offset it for a while? Something that's going to make me feel good for a while, and then, oh no, I must go back for more. Lord knows we've seen that in the past. I mean, they always talk about the cigarette companies trying to addict people. How McDonald's had soaked their fries in beef fat because it brought people back for it. I miss those fries. Personally, I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I thought they were brilliant, and I liked them. I wish they'd actually kept those in there. They could have called them beef fries. Something. Bring them back. Those were damn good fries. Now they're kind of crappy what they got. But when it comes to the Ebola outbreak, how we treat it now is going to show how we're going to treat it later when it comes across the ocean. And it will. If we don't cure the damn thing, it will come. They've made movies about it. Books have been written about it. If you can dream it, it can happen. And sooner or later it will. And if it doesn't happen through cause and effect, natural progression, dumb luck, it will happen through human intent. Some terrorist gonna go and try to spread it to the United States. Some idiotic government or military worker is going to try to figure out a way to harness it, and they're gonna screw up and it's gonna get released. It'll be something. If we expect to get help later, we need to give help now. Okay, just my beliefs. It's a follow-up video. Not happy with the way I'm seeing things progressing, so I figured I'd just put another one up. Well, hopefully people start looking at this subject, and if I had a little bit to do with that, I'll feel at least a little bit accomplished.